He might be getting the bad storms. I don't know where they haven't hit us yet, but
It's definitely on its way.
They'll hit us first, Kate, before they hit Rob.
they split all the time.
We'll give him another minute or so, and then he may have to join us late.
So we are live streaming at this point.
But speaking of internet, if I suddenly disappear, that's probably why.
Sure, Kate.
I think I can stick it out for the 20-minute long meeting.
Well, we've got 9 contracts.
Jeff, I'm calling Rob, so give me a minute.
Okay.
Page
We'll
by
hold for a moment.
page, Kate. Page by page, every contract.
Oh my gosh.
Gail, get your caffeine ready.
I got it ready, you bet. I think Alex has some tea. I
No,
have-
doesn't he?
Coffee.
I'm going to go get some Diet Pop pretty soon.
Have you seen the posters saying like people who like distance worship too much and so they show up at church and they're in pajamas?
Jeff, go ahead and start.
Okay.
We need coffee at the meetings.
Do.
All right. With that, we will call the June 18th, 2020 school board meeting to order. Member Clerk, could you please take a roll call?
Member Corcoran?
Here.
Member Corcoran is here. Member Ketto?
Here.
Member Ketto is here. Member Olson?
Here.
Member Olson is here. Member Rayfield? Member Rayfield is absent. Member Tyson?
Here.
Member Tyson is here. Member Peterson?
Here.
Member Peterson is here, and Member Luthner is here.
All right. Thank you, Member Luthner. With that, I would like to pull one item from the agenda. Item 5.1, the activities director contract. Per Mr. Hennon, he would like to have some further discussion. Due to the timing, he was unable to have conversation with Steve beforehand, so we thought that would be done, but I would need a motion and a second to pull that 5.1 from the agenda tonight.
I move that we pull 5.1 from the agenda.
And I second it.
A motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Member Ketto?
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson?
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield is absent. Member Tyson?
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson?
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran?
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye.
All right, motion passes. We will remove 5.1 from tonight's agenda. And with that, Dr. Massey, are you ready with the COVID update?
I am, and I will be fairly brief with the update, but before I do, I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of David Emerson, our custodian, who was currently working at the middle school, previously at the high school in Lino Lakes. So tragically, he passed away on June 8th, and we're certainly going to miss him, and we offer his family our condolences. With respect to our COVID update, we started summer school with grades 9 through 12 on Monday, and we start with grades K through 8 on Monday the 22nd. We have 328 students enrolled in our K-8 program, which will be a hybrid program due to COVID, which means kids are coming to school on an A-B rotation. So a classroom of 18 will be divided into an A group and a B group, with 9 kids coming on one day and 9 kids the other day. And then they'll be in a distance learning modality on the opposite day, whether they're not in person. And the distance learning concept will essentially be pre-teaching, review, extensions to the learning that took place in the school day. But we are really excited to have kids back in the classroom and to get started with school. So again, on the 22nd, K-8 starts, and 9-12 is 100% online, and those kids have started, as I said, on this past Monday on the 15th. We received guidance from Minnesota Department of Education and Minnesota Department of Health today on planning for school opening in the fall. And we have received extensive guidance from the state. And without getting into detail of what this planning will look like, let me simply share that our task between now and the start of the school year is to fully plan out three learning systems. One is kids are back 100%, completely back, and we need to plan for that transition back. Next, we need to plan for a hybrid model and have that fully operational, ready to be operational day one. And third, full distance learning, as we just finished, ready and operational on day one. So it's not create a model and be ready to plan based on some guidance at the end of July. We will need to be fully operational with those 3 plans day one of the next school year. The idea is we might be on one concept at the start of the year, and if we have an outbreak or if the pandemic changes from the way it exists in our district or across the state on the first day of school, there may be a point during the school year where we move from the model we start with to a different model. And we certainly don't want to be building that out on the fly. So we will spend the summer building out those 3 models the best we can. And then we'll receive guidance from the department at the end of July, early August on what model they're recommending or guiding districts to start with. So I will be putting together a fairly large committee to do this work. It's going to be hard to do this work in committees because there's so much overlap. When you think about planning for the operations, the food service, transportation, building maintenance, well, that might be Larry's department. A lot of that interacts with the academic program. And when you think about HR and personnel, a lot of that, of course, interacts with both of those. So we will bring all of those elements together in a fairly large planning team to do that work. And I envision extensive hours once or twice a week for extended periods of time to work through and plan this. We need to, in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, feel like we have some good traction on the development of these plans. So we're going to hit this really hard starting next week. And that's the end of my update, and I turn that back over to you, Chair Peterson.
Thank you, Dr. Massey, and I would like it noted that Member Rayfield has now joined us. Welcome, Member Rayfield. With that, we will move to the consent agenda. Is there anything anyone would like pulled from the consent agenda?
I'd like to pull 4.2, please.
All right, we will pull 4.2, so I would entertain a motion to approve 4.1 and 4.3.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. Member Clerk, would you please take roll? Oh, Member Luther?
We're doing the entire consent agenda except for what's pulled?
4.2.
Okay. I just wanted to mention the Mrs. Musbach's retirement. She taught all my kids how to read. So I told her I would vote against her, but I really won't.
And technically, that's a resignation, not a retirement.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that. It was in an odd category.
All right, thank you, Member Luthner. So with that, we have a motion and a second on 4-1 and 4-3. Any other discussion?
I'm confused.
You have to pull 4-2, right?
Right, so are we doing a roll call and then,
We have to do a roll call for 4-1 and 4-3, and then we will go to 4-2.
perfect, I'm just,
Okay. Yep, no problem.
just confirming that's what I thought, thanks.
Okay, ready? Okay. Member Olson?
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield?
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson?
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson?
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran?
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto?
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving to 4-2. Do we have a motion for 4-2?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second,
All right, discussion. Member Tyson.
I just want to quickly recognize Kathy Haw, the retirement. She's been our food service supervisor, and she's just a really nice person on top of a hard worker. And I first got to know her quite well at the wellness committee meetings. She was coming when the policy committee was giving it a really hard look. And she's just really insightful and very smart about all the details that go into the food service program. But also when I would go to national conferences and I'd come back very fired up about something I heard in a different state with food service, I'd just see her in the building and bounce the idea off her. And she was always like, wow, that's really unique, or, always just very interested. So like her as a person, and I wish her well in retirement. We will miss her. And I think she'll be here in the fall for a little while, maybe. But anyway, happy retirement, Kathy. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Member Tyson. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Member Luthner, would you please take a roll call?
Okay, Member Rayfield?
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson?
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson?
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran?
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto?
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson?
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye.
All right, motion passes. We will move on to action items. 5-2, approve the 2019-21 employment terms and conditions for assessment and evaluation coordinator, Dr. Massey.
Thank you. This particular agreement, and let me add that all the agreements we're looking at and will be recommended to you for approval are, as you'll recall, these are terms of employment where we create agreement between the district and the individual, or the individual is related to the particular agreement. So first up tonight would be the assessment evaluation coordinator. And you'll notice in this agreement there are two changes that we're recommending. One is consistent with other administrative contracts, the removal of the cap on 403B, and the salary improvements, again, consistent with the parameters for other administrative positions. Parameters in the first year at 3% increase and a 2% increase in the second year. And with that, administration recommends approval.
All right, do we have a motion for 5-2?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
To put a face to this will be Light Komatsu's position.
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion?
I just have one question. I noticed it in other contracts, and I believe it is in Lloyd's, the moving fee, I saw it in the athletic director. Is that new language, or have we had that for a while?
No, that's been in the administrative contracts for a long time.
A long time?
And I can't remember a time that I have not seen that in the contract when I was even at the high school.
So we just automatically do that with people that live out of district if they're a coordinator or a director?
Yeah, it's incentive to get people to, we think there's value when people can live in the community
Oh, definitely.
A small incentive to help them with that transition if they choose to do so.
Okay. I thought I must have seen it before, but I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Tyson.
And just to be clear, we're on 5-1, which is the activities director.
We are on 5-2. 5-1 was pulled from the agenda, I think, prior to your arrival.
Oh, that's what I get for being late.
I apologize for not clarifying. Any further discussion on 5-2? Hearing none, Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving to 5-3. Approve the employment terms and conditions for college and career transition coordinator. Dr. Massey.
Thank you. Two changes that are noteworthy here. The first one is clarification that days worked beyond the school year, the school term contract would be paid at daily rate. And then the salary increases would be consistent with the salary increases in the teacher contract. And that would be 3% in the first year and 2% in the second year. And administration recommends approval.
All right, do we have a motion to approve 5-3?
Motion approved.
Motion to- and we have a motion and a second discussion.
Again, I forgot to mention, that's Molly Barnett is in that position at the high school.
I just would like to comment that that position is so extremely valuable for our seniors. I know when my son was going to school, it was kind of in flux at the time. And when Dylan was in school, and I just know that Molly has just brought such a great, she's got such professionalism, and she has such great rapport with the students and staff. And I'm just so happy that we finally had someone in that great position to really help our students. So I'm totally in favor of this increase.
I just want to concur with Member Corcoran. And I also wanted to ask, does this position coordinate the academic awards night? Or does that still fall on to a dean?
That falls on a dean. Molly certainly assists, but that is the responsibility of one of the deans, currently Amy Gibson.
Any further discussion? I would like to, for myself, say that I really appreciate her focus not only on college, but other career opportunities that exist in the world that don't necessarily involve college. So I really appreciate that. With that, I would ask, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye.
All right, motion passes. We will move to 5-4, approve 19 through 21 employment terms and conditions for the communications coordinator. Dr. Massey.
Yeah, this is Renee Reedy's position. I think you understand the value of this position. She currently is at 0.75, and the change in this contract is solely related to wages in the first and second year. And again, that would be a 3% and a 2%. 3% in the first year, 2% in the second year. And again, she is at 0.75 time based on what works for her in terms of her interest and ability to put in those hours. And with that, administration recommends approval.
All right, do we have a motion to approve 5-4?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second discussion.
Steve, I have a question. Was this originally a 1.0 full-time job and then we tailored it to her needs?
That's correct. Yep. And at some point, because it used to be at that level, I think there would certainly be cause and need for sure to move that to full time. I wouldn't recommend that we go out and try to match her time with anybody else, but should things change for her, we may very, very well want to recommend that we move that her to full time, but not today.
I agree. If that works for her schedule, we should be good with that. I think she's doing a fantastic job of getting the word out about our district, and the pictures and the social media is just bringing us up to date where we need to be.
Yeah, we cannot address enrollment if we aren't aggressive with marketing and effective in our communication, and she does all of that.
I just concur with Member Olson, and I just wanted to add that that was my question as well. And do you see that we need that extra time now that we just seem to be focusing on so many areas?
Yeah, I would say there's certainly a need, and I would also add that there's never a time where we are in a pinch where she doesn't step up and get and do what needs to get done. So there isn't a void necessarily, but we can do more should she move to full time.
Okay. Well, she absolutely has a terrific skill set and has brought so many good things to that position. So if she could go full time, I think that'd be awesome, but we'll see what happens.
I want to add one thing. This is Alex. I spent the better part of 40-some years in marketing and advertising, and I think that Renee does an outstanding job just based on all those years of experience that I have. Invaluable.
Thank you, Member Ketto. Further discussion? Hearing none, Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Okay, Member Luthner. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving to 5.5, approve 19 through 21 employment terms and conditions for controller. Dr. Massey.
Thank you. Chrissy Renberg is our current controller, and the changes in this particular agreement are related to the 403B cap, as well as a 3% in the first year and 2% in the second year salary adjustment. With that, administration recommends approval.
Do we have a motion to approve 5.5?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Gail.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
I don't know who. Can we make a call on who made the motion, who made the second on that one?
Yeah, to be clear, Joy's going to need
Yeah.
to know that. Do we?
Yeah.
Are we cool?
I would say Gail made the motion and Julie made the second.
Okay. I'm
Sorry
noting
about that,
it.
Kate.
You're very good at talking together.
Yes.
All right. So we have a motion and a second. Discussion.
I can add that this is one of those incredibly important jobs that nobody ever really gives credit to because it's not very flashy. But in business school, it's be kind to your accountants and never give them cause to talk to you sternly. So I think she's done a great job. I've never seen anything to the contrary, which when no news is good news. So I would, if this is the contract they prefer, I'm all for it.
Thank you, Member Luthner. Further discussion? Member Corcoran?
And this is, I've been in quite a few meetings with Chrissy, and I know she's doing a great job. Of course, working with Larry, I mean, it's big shoes to fill, working with him and trying to learn the ropes. And I think she's really stepped up and done a great job. And she's covered a few meetings when he hasn't been there. So, but I think she's really doing a great job. So I'm glad she's on our staff.
Thank you, Member Corcoran. Further discussion? Hearing none, Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Kiddo votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. And Member Luthner votes aye.
Motion passes. We'll move to 5.6, approve 1921 employment terms and conditions for department coordinators. Dr. Massey.
Thank you. Let me get to there we go. For our department coordinators, again, parallel to other contracts, the changes in this contract will be mainly the change on salary, which is 3% in the first year and 2% in the second year. And our department coordinators would be Sarah Heckel, Chad Eriksrud, Brad Ward, Carolyn Latati. I believe that covers the group.
What's the administration's recommendation?
I'm sorry, administration recommends approval.
Thank you, Dr. Massey. Do we have a motion to approve 5.6?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
So I have a question for Dr. Massey. Are we currently seeking someone to fill the targeted services position in the interventionist position?
That was Lori Chalgren. That position actually moved over to a curriculum coordinator position. So it was essentially dissolved from that current position as part of our right sizing piece. To replace to fill a vacancy in our curriculum coordinator position.
So is that Mr. Ward?
No, that was Lori Chalgren as the intervention targeted services coordinator title, and then Chris Betts was in that position. With the budget process and staffing process, that position was vacated and made open. And then I believe that that position I don't believe that we approved yet tonight. So we'll be bringing for approval the filling of that position, the coordinator position, at the June 25th meeting.
So just to clarify, are you telling me they have a different title and we eliminated the targeted services and interventionist?
That position has been dissolved.
Okay.
We use those resources essentially to, as part of our right sizing.
Okay. So they'll be in this group though.
That's correct. But it's, it's important in these concepts to keep those positions, at least for a while, on the books in the event that we want to fill the position. So
Sounds good.
I think that's a good clarification, but I would recommend that we keep the position identified in the event that we want to fill it at some point.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Member Tyson. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none. Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. And Member Kiddo.
Aye.
Member Kiddo votes aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving to 5.7, approve the 1921 employment terms and conditions for early childhood programs coordinator. Dr. Massey.
Yeah, this position is currently held by Bethany Hardy, and the recommended changes are related to pay for performance, and those dollars are, as was done 2 contracts ago in other agreements, moved to salary, and then a 3% and 2% increase in year 1 and year 2 on salary. And with that, administration recommends approval.
All right, do we have a motion to approve 5.7?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second, discussion.
So I have another question for Dr. Massey. ECFE used to have a position that currently, well, Cheryl Smudgick was there in the ECFE program as kind of a support to the coordinator. Did we right size or change that position, or does that not exist anymore? Or is
I would ask for Corey to jump on, but I think Donna Friedman might have that specific. Donna, do you have that?
Unfortunately, I don't have as specific as I would like to be. I can say yes, that position does exist. I cannot tell you the name of the person right now because it's not on the top of my head. Corey would know. We do have a person like that, yes.
okay? And is that kind of Bethany's assistant or the coordinator's assistant?
Right. Yes, essentially, we went through a little bit of time of flux while we went through new community ed director, new early childhood programs coordinator, but we stabilized and we decided that was what we systemically needed, was to have kind of that support role. So it's not an admin assistant, but it is an assistant in running the program.
Is that in license then, or classified, or what is that?
It's a classified position as well.
Okay, thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Member Tyson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Member Clerk?
Okay. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving to 5.8, approve the 1921 employment terms and conditions for the ice arena manager. Dr. Massey.
Thank you. This position is currently held by Mike Elam, and the sole change in this contract would be a wage adjustment at 3% in the first year and 2% in the second year, and with that, administration recommends approval.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve 5.8?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Do we have a second? Have a motion and a second, discussion. Hearing none, Member Clerk?
Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving to 5.9, approve the 1921 Supervisors Employment Agreement. Dr. Massey.
I'll identify who the supervisors are when we get to the wages page, as those positions are listed. A couple of changes in this agreement. There's on the area related to medical hospital insurance, supervisors beginning as supervisor on or after July 1, 2020, can accrue at any one time in the healthcare reimbursement account will be limited to 5 times the annual family. That is a change made in the principal agreement, and you'll see that also in the director's agreement. And then there's an adjustment on the healthcare reimbursement from $480 to $900, again, consistent with other agreements. There's the removal of the cap on 403B, and then wage increases of 3% in the first year, 2% in the second year. And the information supervisor would be Tim Brockman. Food service would be Kathy Hoff. Transportation is John Gray, of course. Buildings and grounds, Bill Schwartz. Construction supervisor, we no longer have. That was Mike Kopitz. And then the aquatic supervisor, Jen Olson. And with that, administration recommends approval.
Thank you, Dr. Massey. Do we have a motion to approve 5-9?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
This is Alex. I just have one question on the wage page. I noticed that everybody's at the same wage with the exception of the aquatic supervisor. Is there, I just want, for my own information, I guess, learning curve.
Yeah,
Why that's
Kevin
different than the other.
Friedman might have longer history with this. Donna, do you know the background on that?
It has to do with the position evaluation system that is used throughout the district, and that position is rated a little bit lower. I'm not sure right off the top of my head in what areas or how that happens. It might be in the scope of the operation.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Okay, Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye.
All right. Motion passes. Moving to 5-10, the approval of the 1921 Director Employment Agreement. Dr. Massey.
Thank you. Several changes here, again, consistent with other ones you've seen tonight. Lifting the cap on 403B for those that are approaching that cap. There is the elimination of ULA language that you've seen in the administrative contracts previously, as well as the teacher agreement. There's language here on how, if a position is eliminated, how seniority plays in, and how decisions are made for placement based on discretion of the superintendent. So it's calling for the process and the system and mechanism for, in the event of a position elimination, where a director with seniority based on their contract and the collective bargaining agreement would have access to a different position. And lastly, a 3% in the first year and 2% in the second year, consistent with other contracts. So with that, administration recommends approval.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve 5-10?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Member Luthner votes aye. Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Member Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Tyson votes aye. And Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye.
All right. Motion passes. With that, I would entertain a motion to recess the meeting to go into closed session to discuss negotiation strategy for several bargaining units.
Actually, Chair Pearson, the agenda was changed earlier today as we are going to defer that to the June 25th meeting.
Understood. That's a good plan. All right. So I guess with that, we have nothing further on the agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in, Member Clerk, would you please take a roll call?
Okay. Hold on. Who goes next? Member Corcoran.
Aye.
Member Corcoran votes aye. Member Ketto.
Aye.
Member Ketto votes aye. Member Olson.
Aye.
Member Olson votes aye. Member Rayfield.
Aye.
Rayfield votes aye. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Tyson votes aye. Member Peterson.
Aye.
Member Peterson votes aye. And Member Luthner votes aye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. See you on the 25th.
That was a
And
lot of votes.
Yeah.
Just as the storm is hitting.
The
Yeah.
storm is coming. It's here.
I'm hearing thunder. I had to make a new